This book is scary. Ghost Camp. Yep. I'm gonna say this is my favorite Goosebumps camp book, and it's definitely one of the darkest books in the series. Yep. So what's the plot? So basically you have this boy named Harry and his brother Alex, and they're on the bus on their way to Camp Spirit Moon. Yep. And they're the only ones on the bus. Okay. Yep. So yeah, and they arrive at camp and everything seems all fine at first, and then strange things start happening. Well, first we get this like ghost story, like well, two ghost stories. The first ghost story is about this scout master and these two campers. Like they go deep into the woods and they set up camp, and then they hear this sound, thump, 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 and a booming voice going, "Why are you standing on my heart?" And then they get eaten by this, like they're on a monster's chest, and they get eaten by this monster. And the other story involves like all the campers like turning into ghosts after a mysterious fog rolls into the camp. Yeah. And yeah. Oh, Harry meets a girl named Lucy, like, and well, they serve hot dogs at the camp, and then like Harry loses his hot dog in the fire, and then Lucy, like, she puts her hand into the fire, you see, and pulls out the hot dog, and her hand is perfectly fine. Yep. And then more strange things start happening, like a kid like gets like a tent pole through his foot, and one pretends to drown, yeah, and then he like a fork like puts a fork through his neck. Well, it's obvious they're ghosts because the title says ghost camp. Yeah, and Harry comes to realize that something is wrong with this camp. Yeah. And then one night, he and Alex decide it's time to leave the camp. So yeah, they go out. Yeah, they go into the woods. Yeah, and then they hear this sound, thump, 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 thump. And wouldn't you know it, the monster from the story shows up. Yeah, and then to make things even crazy, like they're inside the monster's mouth, the kids. Yeah, and then so like gets swallowed down, and then Harry tells Alex to shout, "We don't believe you. We don't believe you." And when you know it, they're back where they started. Yep. And then all the ghost campers like surround them. Yeah. Well, it turns out they need to possess a living body in order to leave the camp, the ghosts. Yeah, so they fight over who gets to possess Harry and Alex, and then they like vanish. Yeah. And then the book ends with well, Alex ends up being possessed by this boy named Elvis, who we met. Yep, and that's how it ends. Yep, so the positives. Harry Altman is one of my top 5 favorite Goosebumps protagonists. Yep. His relationship with his brother reminds me of my own. Yep. And another positive, like, I love the dark stuff in this book. Like, the scene with the hand in the fire, the tent pole being shoved through the foot, and the fork, and the drowning, pretending to drown. Yeah, I mean, this book gets very dark at times, and even the monster scene. I also like how the thump thump sound is like really bone chilling. Yeah. And like the kids like the like yeah the I mean it gets very dark, this book. Yeah. Are there any negatives to the book? Well, not really. Well, except the cover by Tim Jacobus. Like for some reason, like he like, drew like the campers are walking out of the camp. Yeah, they're invisible. And for some reason, he drew a girl. Like, did someone forget to inform him that the main characters are boys? I don't know. I mean, it's still a good cover, but it's just my nitpick of it. Yeah, yeah, uh, yeah. Like, I also really love the atmosphere in this book. Like, the idea of being in a camp, well, summer camp, of course, can be a scary place. Being out in the middle of nowhere in the woods, yeah, it would be scary. Yeah, there's a lot to love about Ghost Camp, and recommend you check it out if you haven't already. That is, uh-huh. Yep. Really liked this book. So, anyways, thanks for watching and subscribe.